Hello, this is CardboardGeek, and this is an unboxing of Dune Imperium by Direwolf Games, the same people who brought you Clank, and designed by Paul Dennen. This is a tie-in to the new Dune film from Legendary, as you can tell from the front of the box. I own the original Dune, which I've had for quite a lot of years. I have both a new and an old copy, so it's interesting to see how this all stack up. So I have heard things about it, and I'll address those as I'm undoing it. So let's get the box out. Well, first thing that's nice is it's very, very, very tight, which is a good lid fit. Right, there we go. Right, oh, nice artwork in there. Okay, what have we got there? I'm going to assume that's the rule book. Yes, it is. I love that. Nice sandworm there. Oh, and we've got some rule books for solo and two-player. Board space guide, like that. A nice one they got research. And a solo play setup. Given the current COVID situation, that was one of the things that drew me to this. And also its pedigree by people who did Clank. I've not really been drawn to Clank, I'm going to admit it, but just goes to show that sometimes it's all about the theme. And the battle for Dune is nice. And as on the solo on this, you actually are playing against factions with a fairly robust AI that's card-driven. Right, sorry, just delay getting rid of the foam bits. One just went flying. So we've got some nice cardstock pieces. Pretty good cardstock. So take the board. Now, there's been complaints about this board. I know it. It's not the prettiest board in the box, but I've long... Whoops. Just knocking the camera there. I've long been a advocate of it's about the gameplay, not the graphics. You know, many of us probably play old games that have graphics that are on videos, obviously. They're a bit useless by modern standards, but the gameplay is really satisfying. And I understand this is pretty much the same as, I mean, this is the battleground area. This is really bland. But everything's clearly iconed. Once you know the icons, it's very, very easy. I was able to understand it pretty much from run-throughs. So that's a good thing, because it makes it a lot easier when things just run themselves. And especially since I'm liable at the moment to be playing this mostly solo, that's a very big point, right? So we have it all. Now that's interesting, because they've supplied this, which I assume is to help prevent bits getting out. Now, so we come to the components. And with cards, being that this is part deck builder, this is a hybrid game, there's a lot of cards. Now, I'm going to actually open this. I don't sometimes do this on playthroughs because my hands don't always behave, but they're behaving a bit today. So I'll get through it. Now, this is one of the items I've heard. Cardstock seems fine, but I am of the understanding that heavy use can probably start wearing them, but I'll get the solution to that in a bit, because obviously the obvious solution is sleeving. So I'll need to make a decision whether I'm going to sleeve them now or sleeve them later, and the reason for that statement will become clear in a bit. So I just want to quickly get through this, pull out the cards. Now these are the conflict cards. These actually will drive how you get points, how you get rewards. So I'm not entirely sure. I think there's some combat cards on the other side of it. Oh, I know what those will be. Those will be intrigue cards, because let's face it, you can't have Dune without some intrigue. Go into that fight, you got loads of Sardaukar, you think you got the fight won, and the next thing, when a carefully played intrigue card will turn the fight against you. So fighting is one way you get points, but it's how you think it through, and I'm not going to be surprised if they are indeed intrigue cards. So that's the conflicts, and basically whoever comes first in the conflict here gets 1 victory point. Whoever comes second gets 1 water, and this is the money. Oh no, it's not, it's spice. Sorry, it's orange. I'm used to spice being blue. Probably from the old films, the Turning Eyes Blues, things like that. And when I pimped up my original Dune game, and I bought blue crystals to replace the spice. But this one doesn't get used unless we're in a 4-player, and I'm going to admit, it's probably been a while before I get into a 4-player, especially under the current regime. If you like, I mean, it's not really a regime, it's necessary. You know, keep safe, folks, let's face it. We're in it for a while. Intrigue. So basically, these can be played, and like that one will get you a couple of money. That one will allow you to recall an agent, which is useful. Shades of water deep, really, there. Some water. What else have we got? We've got something combat related. But some of these will swing battles. That one particularly. That's nasty. If you have a faction alliance, pay 2 spice and gain 7 soldiers on the combat track, basically. So that's definitely a swinger. And we have these are the faction leader cards. So we have Duke Leto Atreides, Paul's dad, Paul, and they all have a little special ability they can use in the game whenever you play a card that allows you to do this. It's the ring. Kiss the ring, get your reward. But they also have a little power here. Keep knocking the camera. I've got a new setup, so I'm just adjusting to it. Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, if you really, really want to play a absolutely evil git. Glossu the Beast Raban. Earl Menon Thorvald. Countess Ariana Thorvald, Ilban Rikisi, and Lena Rikisi. Interesting. I wonder if Fade Rotha will make an appearance. Will we have... Will Sting? I doubt it'll look like Sting, because obviously being based on the new film, it's not going to have that. Fade Rotha, famously originally played by Sting, wearing blue swimming trunks. Well, components are standard wood. Now, this is where I'm now going to get to thing. I like wood components, I'm not going to lie, they're nice. But these are practical, do the job, standard cubes, which is nice. And you got your agents there. Money is these rather bland little cubes. Big one's 5, little one's 1. And still more cubes. Did they supply many baggies? 1 set of baggies. I got baggies, there's no problem. I'm a bit disappointed there's no baggies. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of the way company's been going. But a lot of that's in bags, so I can probably rearrange. But anyway, the reason why I'm not overly fussed about the components is they're basic. They do the job. You can play the game, so that's fine. We've got plenty of games, all of us, where the components are serviceable. In fact, I'm trying to design games. I've got a design box full of cubes. From where I've upgraded them. But yeah, they do the job. However, it is my understanding that Direwolf have actually decided they are going to release an upgrade kit. I've seen some pictures of the upgrade kit. It has soldiers in to replace the cubes, which can make the battleground look a little more interesting. I'd probably like to have seen an overlay for the battleground, but I've got ideas about that. I've got a friend who I might see if he's interested in upgrading that battleground a little bit without actually damaging the board. But the upgrade kit is going to add a little bits and pieces, and most importantly, I am of the understanding it's going to allow you to have some sleeves, which will obviously increase the wear of the cards, and they've got nice pictures of either Dune or a sandworm coming out. So that's Dune Imperium. It's, from my understanding, the game is very good mechanically. It's shot up and everyone's parts. It's probably, to be honest, now definitely going to be played a lot more than my original Dune, because let's face it, Dune is a fantastic game. The original one, obviously, I'm talking about. way back in Sands of Time, which got rebooted recently. But you need the people for it, and it's a bit like Twilight. It can take ages. Fantastic game, just takes a lot. Whereas this, you have a fixed goal of getting to 10 victory points, and then game's over. So, I mean, his timing is a lot less, and that obviously makes it more attractive. And it's got a robust system. The deck building seems very straightforward, from what I've seen. And this is where I'm going to get annoyed, because what I've actually done is I know I've not put the back on the right way around. And I am one of those people. I saw the question up on one of the things. Yeah, I'll change that in a bit. I'm going to sort this out in a minute, because I think I'm going to have a game of it. But anyway, let's have some of the vital statistics of the game. Where I can find it. There we go. 1 to 4 players. 60 minutes to 120 minutes. Much more handleable than the original Dune, not Duel. Age, but to be honest, I don't see anything in this game. Possibly that's more just because they've got to put it there, because I was about to say my son's just 15 now, so it's not really a problem for him. But he's been playing games with this level of complexity since he was 7, and he's pretty good at it. So, as a result, definitely something that can be played with anyone. I've watched playthroughs. It looks tight. It looks nice. There's some nice surprises that you can pull on people. The intrigue cards work very well, from what I've seen, on keeping that intrigue up, keeping people guessing, keep you on the hop. And this was very much like the original game, where Harkonnen would have traitors among your leaders, and you didn't know if that was the case, and everyone had a traitor, if I recall, as well. If I recall correctly, Harkonnen had multiple, and everyone else had at least one. And so you had to be careful, because whenever you put a leader into battle, it could turn out that person was fighting on their side and not yours. Or alternatively, like you go for your blaster and they've got a shield, and you need a blade to get past the shield, as anyone who knows Dune would know. Bene Gesserit are not a faction in this. They are very much so in the original Dune. But from what I've seen, they've been included quite well in this, as a sort of, and actually probably more in how they actually would be. So anyway, this has been a little bit of extra talking than some of my other ones. I like it. It's serviceable. I'm of the to say the components could have been prettier, could have been more, but at the end of the day, it's the game. And if this captures the feeling of Frank Herbert's universe, I think it's done its job. I think the only thing I would have personally done was had these blue. But I can see why they wouldn't want to confuse it with the water. So I'm possibly going to consider getting the blue gems I pimped up my original one with, and possibly replace these with them. Because that's how I feel. I know obviously that's going to make the icons not make much sense, but it's just me. So anyway, that's Dune Imperium unboxed. I'm CardboardGeek. Like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Get my thing out. I don't do many, I know. But I hope you enjoyed this, and see you again soon. Bye.